Ooh, I need to find something to watch. Well, I need to find some head first. I need to find a head for this. I need to find a head for this. And I broke her a couple of times, but I need to find a head for her too. So let's see what we've got. Oh yes, if you're new to my live stream, this is the world's most boring live stream where I sit here, work on projects, and listen to something online. Not sure what, if anything, though. Oh, you might work. Kind of need a smaller head for once. Maybe I get rid of some of these guys. Let's see what we have today. Do. See now. I'm gonna need a bigger head for you, so it's probably gonna be this Rex right here. Maybe the Triceratops. I hate to use a Triceratops because I got so few of them. I don't have any animals either at the moment. Maybe a horse's head, actually. Maybe a horse's head. Give me a minute. Do. I think it's gonna be a horse's head for this guy. I think it might be you for him. Yeah. And this one is too small. You might have to be the Rex. Okay. And the Rex, these three are going back in the pile. Yes. So many things happening. None of them useful to me. But that's okay. I should find something to watch. Or listen to, I should say. Ooh. I don't want to take off any more of her neck because I broke her at the waist. And if I try chipping her head off or her neck off, then it's probably gonna break her again at the waist, and I don't want to do that. Just put her back together. Do. Try to make a sandwich without a recipe.
Welcome to Without a Recipe Sandwich It.
All right, I don't know how you can fuck that up, but okay.
Hello, Ned.
Hear the rainbow, taste the rainbow. Gear up for the holidays.
I need a bigger blade.
Up to 50% on everything you need for the season. Christmas Rush on now at Canadian Tire. Act fast. These deals end December 6th.
I'm gonna need the hacksaw for you, so hacksaw for you. Might be.
Welcome to Without a Recipe Sandwich It.
That is a texture of bread that I've never had.
This is part 2 of our war extravaganza. Oh, this is wet.
This is how far into Without a Recipe we are, is that we're going back to the beginning. We're making bread, and that's just half of the battle.
What are you doing with that?
Everything that goes into this sandwich from scratch.
Uh-oh, the mustard.
Something's wrong about this. Do we think this looks appetizing?
It kind of reminds me of college.
Wow, what did you do in college? I might have to go for the tools for this one. Be right back. Come here, guys.
Last year was a total blast. We're dialing up the fun even more. It's Without a Recipe Live. We're doing a big live special to end it all. Anything can happen. Welcome to Without a Recipe Live! Join us live in the kitchen. You don't want to miss it. You guys get to vote on the winner. It is about to go down. Get your tickets today at tryguys.com/live.
Welcome to part 2 of this season of Without a Recipe. Eugene is back in the kitchen, And Marissa is excited to make her without a recipe debut. This week, they're making sandwiches.
Marissa, that sandwich looks like an
Will the guys be on a roll?
And of course, Eugene's favorite, bread. With fish.
Or will they be stuck in a pickle?
You wanted to keep all of that sort of vomit-inducing flavor in there. That's good. Okay.
The guys will have 2 days to make their bread and fillings from scratch and present them to our panel of judges.
Welcome to Without a Recipe Sandwiches. Hey everyone, I'm Rosanna Pansino. I host one of the most popular shows on the internet, and now I'm the judge on a couple Food Network shows.
My name is Josh Scherer. I am the host of Mythical Kitchen, as well as the A Hot Dog is a Sandwich podcast. I've written weekly recipe columns. I've done professional recipe development for over 10 years. I am a cookbook author. My name is Trevor Everts. Professionally, I am silly on the internet. I also bake things occasionally over on Mythical Kitchen, and I played GeoGuessr with Keith one time. We are here in the Mythical Kitchen. So bread making, it's a pretty complicated, well no, it's actually a pretty simple process, but it's very easy to mess up. Basically flour, water, yeast, then salt is important. If you don't salt your bread, it's not gonna taste good. Making bread without a recipe is tough because you can make bread with a recipe and still screw it up royally, which I have done many times before. A sandwich can go wrong in many different ways. I've had a lot of bad sandwiches. To me, the bread really is the key to a good sandwich. If you have a sandwich that is very wet and has a ton of fillings in it, you might want a crustier, harder bread that can actually stand up to it. So to me, sandwiches really are so much about architecture and it's about being thoughtful at every single level of making that sandwich.
We're making sandwiches today. But we're not just like assembling a sandwich. That's too easy. No, we're baking the bread. We're supposed to try to really cook the meat. It's a savory episode. It's a sandwich. This one, I really should win.
I've never done bread well. That is the worst food I've ever tried in my life. Every year we seem to find a new
There we go.
Now we're making basic
better.
sandwich bread. Basic. I'm still in it.
I know how to make a sandwich without a recipe. I don't know how to make any of the components within a sandwich. I've never baked bread.
In this season of war, I am dedicating everything to the women in my family. Keith always had Daddy's favorite, even though his dad actually doesn't listen to prison. Yeah, it's a bit, y'all. He likes it, but it's not his favorite flavor combination. I'm sure his dad's like watching it and being like, why does he keep making cinnamon raisin for me? We're not putting that in the video. We're toast. Rachel told us to do that.
Oh, wow.
It's time for sandwiches.
All right, heroes. 30 minutes on the clock. In 3, 2, 1.
All right, time has begun. It's time to make bread. This episode, right in this moment, I've just changed what I'm going to do. I was going to make a Reuben on marble rye, a delicious sandwich, Becky's favorite. But I thought, isn't that a little boring? Then Rachel said that she made a beer mustard bread once, but I just heard beer. What if I made a beer bread and a beer cheese with a beer mustard? A beer sandwich. I might have some beer right now.
Maybe a little bit smaller.
Well, right now it's about 9:40. It's a big fried chicken sandwich, ice cold beer. I mean, come on now.
Come on now.
Come on now.
I feel like I'm taking way too long to be too precise. Like, when are we ever precise on this show?
When are we ever precise on this show?
So for today, I am going to make a sourdough soursop sandwich, which is a play on PB&J. Soursop is a fruit found in the Caribbean. It's also called guanabana. It's one of my favorite fruits. So I wanted to do sort of like a sweet and sour with the sourdough and the soursop and make like an adult PB&J.
My sandwich is dedicated to my older sister, and she loves banh mi. She also loves seafood and lobster rolls. Today, I am making the crispy. My older sister is obsessed with seafood. She loves Southeast Asian cuisine. So typically, banh mi comes on a baguette. The lobster rolls usually have like a soft bun, neither of which are sliced bread. So my thought is I want to make a very buttery, soft bread. So I'm doing like a brioche. Never made a brioche. Today, I am honoring the women in my family again.
In a way, I am as well.
Honoring the women in my family.
Today I'm making the queef. It's a queso and beef sandwich. The queef. I'm going to be infusing a Southwest
Jesus.
influence. So We're gonna have some queso cheese, some hatch chilies, bring a little spice to the queef. We at one point did consider making every episode queef themed. It was gonna be Zach's Queef and Siphon. But we
Oh, this one even has little ear holes. That's kind of disturbing. Yeah, so I made a monster yesterday, and it took me all day to realize what it looked like. It kind of looks like a JJ. So I'm gonna have to paint it a different color so it doesn't look so risque. You go over here. That would work. Maybe just cut it down a bit more.
And it looked exactly what I needed.
Relevant training starts with a Google Career Certificate.
Getting a promotion starts with a Google Career Certificate. Landing my dream job starts with a Google Career Certificate.
Get flexible online training for in-demand jobs. It starts with a Google Career Certificate.
Unless it's free.
We're making a white sandwich bread, so that's why we have milk and butter. Those extra fats are going to give it a softer texture and also give it more flavor. A little bit of sugar here for some sweetness, but that's kind of the simple basic ingredients for our
Close your eyes.
bread. So we're actually going to start with our mixer bowl here, and I'm just going to get this water and this milk to warm to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. That is the temperature at which you want to bloom yeast. Anything hotter can kill the yeast. Anything lower, you're not going to get as much bloom. It's always a good idea to bloom your yeast, give it a little extra rise, get it going, feed it some sugar. It's just going to allow it to more evenly and faster.
I'm gonna have to
activate your yeast. If there's one thing I learned, you activate yeast because it's alive.
Do mostly the bread flour. I know I don't love buckwheat, but like maybe I'll do like
Because I don't want to just rely on beer. Beer.
Add salt to your yeast before you add flour because salt does kill yeast. So I like to wait until I have a little bit of flour mixed in and the dough has almost already come together a little bit before I add my salt.
some kosher salt, but not as much.
go down a little bit more.
Together.
And butter going in here, that's going to add a little bit of that flavor. So be a little more humid outside, and then you would need to use
clean the sweater.
a little bit more flour because your dough is going to be wetter. You really just want to add it gradually. Let it mix together. I'm going to get that salt in there now that it's mixed together, and just mix it up until it's pulling away from the sides and becomes a cohesive dough.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to really cut things
a bunch
down.
of onion flakes, garlic powder, and a little bit of poppy seeds, but honestly they disappeared. How long?
There's not butter in the bread. Brioche.
Butter, each like bread. So I'm making kind of like all my dry ingredients.
Milk. And then I need my yeast. And I don't know if this is activated enough. How much time do we have?
Okay. I don't want to sand that all, so I'll just cut more off here.
I have sourdough starter from my friend Christina that she got on Etsy.
Is Christina coming to the judging?
No,
What's
just
judging
me.
later?
She'll be there in spirit.
Huh, weird. Whenever I cheat, I make sure my cheater is an accomplished person.
This isn't cheating.
Isn't it?
Getting sourdough starter. Rachel didn't say anything about me bringing starter.
So is Rachel going to join you in the judging panels?
There we go. Cut over there.
She is always there, isn't she?
Can you use my backpack, Rachel? I had this idea last night. I realized I had something in my freezer. Backpack salmon.
You doing what?
I'm making some fish loaf. I'm honoring my sister with fish bread. Oh, that's what I'm missing? So fucking dumb. Eggs.
Generally, when adding things to bread, you want to sort of stay away from things that are going to hydrate it different unless you've taken that into account with how much water or other hydrators you're using.
Come on, you
Okay.
Simple bread
And something that's tough for me anytime I'm with Eugene is that it takes
I'm
me
gonna
as
need
long
another
to do almost
hacksaw.
nothing as it does for him to do.
Maybe that's what
I'm
Alex
a very,
Santa for.
Type A go-getter, Zach.
He's making
I'm so
bread,
fucking
cooking
broke this year. Like,
So I'm basically just cooking the salmon.
it's not even
toast.
funny.
It's not going in raw. 'cause
I had a
need
few
to,
things
like,
from Mom
instantly
today,
cook
but
like
I
salmon
honestly don't know.
essence. Okay, if you
Should I just return them or not?
Me too. Yeah, no, I'm doing this for women. I'm chopping up some onions instead of just the dried onion flakes to get some like real onion in the bread. I think that's gonna give it a nice artisan feel.
What is this, Rachel? When have I needed this? Huh? Only cheaters do math.
Yeah.
Oh no, not that way.
10 minutes.
I'm gonna take this out because I need to feel it.
Yeah, we gotta work behind it. It's time for the hands.
Yeah.
So you can see the dough is like a little bit tacky. It's not super dry. It's soft, and you get that nice smooth top when you ball it up like this. And there it is. And it's got a little bit. When you press it down, it bounces back.
And I'm just adding more stickiness with the peanut butter. Ooh. Okay, this, and then we're just gonna fold this in.
Interesting. That's a lot of oil.
You know, if it doesn't have this structure, if it's too wet, you just throw it back in and add more flour and just wait till it comes together. You don't want to use too wet or too soft of a dough.
Oh my, I think I need to pop this back in here for a little bit.
It's like becoming alive. It looks like a Pee-wee's Playhouse appliance.
Oh, you put onion in the dough?
Yeah.
What is your actual bread? What's the onion for?
Flavor.
So, let's add fish, everyone's favorite game show.
Welcome back to Let's Add Fish, America's favorite game show.
The show where we ask, does this regular everyday thing, could it use some fish?
Cake with fish. And of course, Eugene's favorite, butter bread with fish.
Josh, we have our dough. Do you know what comes next? Next, we proof it, Trevor. Nice. I don't have a bowl, but we're gonna grease up a bowl. We're gonna put it in there. We're gonna cover it and let it proof for about an hour until it's doubled in size. Wow, I think that's a bad dough.
Get a little more tough. Yeah, toughen up. You're having beer now. You're growing up.
You're an adult now.
You just had your first beer.
I didn't put any more grease in. I think the peanut
Yeah,
butter
you
is
got
enough. Rise, my babies, rise!
2 minutes, okay. I'm gonna eat it. Oh, this is wet. Oh, that's a wet dough. Oh, that's a wet dough.
It's very important to get the right
dumb shit.
texture, so if your dough is too sticky, you gotta keep working on it. Don't say F
Okay.
it, throw it in a bowl anyway.
Oh, this is a soft dough. I'm assuming
Okay,
maybe
I need
okay.
some sticks.
We're not gonna make it. Eugene, 5 seconds. Perfect.
Alright.
The dough is proofed, and now it's time to put it in the pan to proof some more.
We have our dough, big and beautiful and proofed, and I'm gonna do the plop method. And we're gonna get into the
Try it
slow
again.
pan. So you wanna punch out all the air.
Okay, time for a time out.
Stop that.
Okay, guys. We
I
gotta
need
take a
those.
second to work on the other episode.
So we're in the middle of our cake episode, and we're interrupting this to do. Wow, which one's mine? Which one's yours?
Yours
These
is
two are mine. Wow, yours got it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's stretchy and soggy on the bottom a little bit.
It feels kind of light and kind of heavy.
It smells like fish. Fish and butter.
I don't know if this one is wetter because of the onion.
Alright, maybe drill some holes.
Little log. Pretty simple. You do want to get that first round of air bubbles out, otherwise your dough is just going to be way overproof. Lovely. This is a good way to keep a consistent shape too, because like you're literally creating a symmetrical rectangle, then rolling it up. If you just plopped it in there and tried to sort of mash it out, your bread might be thicker at one end, thinner at the other.
I'm making a little bit of a shape. It kind of looks like a burrito. And hopefully it'll rise a little bit more.
Wow, this is really gonna rise, huh? This is gonna be cool. Okay, great. I'm done.
I like to kind of press it down as I go just to make sure it stays tight, tuck the ends a little bit as I go, roll it up tight, Gonna plop this upside down, pinch it closed so it doesn't tear, it doesn't separate. So now we've got our dough. You just plop it. This is gonna go through second proof, so it doesn't fill out the pan. That's okay if it's not a perfect shape. It's gonna shape while it proofs in the pan.
Ah, it's so soft. I wonder if it's too soft, but it is supposed to be brioche, so because brioche is braided, isn't it? Am I crazy? Also, I used to braid my sister's hair because I'm gay. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm done. These are my two beautiful. That's 3 braids and that's 5.
Hello, stick.
Bring out the dough!
Bring out the dough!
Okay. One of is bigger than the other.
Oh, they look cute.
One is bigger than the other. I know.
Our bread is proofed, it is in the low pan. It's got that nice rise above
Where is
the
it?
pan. This is like a perfect
Where
height
is
for it
it?
to be.
There it is.
Depending on the
Here,
other
baby.
thing, it's gonna rise up a little bit more.
Who gets unplugged? Thank you. That one, yeah. Ow.
Let him do it. Let him do it. Let him do it.
The last thing you'd want to do right now is to punch this down or release any of the air.
Let him do it. There's too much steam. No, let him do it. Yeah, there's too much.
Yeah, squeeze it out.
Yeah, squeeze
Put your
it.
hands all the way in there.
Okay, so we're all gonna stick our buns in at the same time, get them all nice and hot.
All of our buns go in
So
together.
shall we move over to the oven? Do you want to should we wash them with eggs or something?
I'm not doing egg wash. I just want a nice soft matte top. You don't really need to egg wash a sandwich loaf. If you buy a loaf of bread at the store, you'll see it's not really shiny on top.
Let's put the puppies in the oven. Let's put the puppies.
How long do you guys think?
40 minutes.
I'm gonna guess like
Yeah.
5 minutes to an hour.
We cooked this bread at 375 for about 30 to 34 minutes. Now we wait.
So then just over 20 minutes.
It smells like fish. It smells like onion. It smells
I
like beer.
might
It smells
take
like
the
bread.
metal bottom off this. It is broken.
Now let's take a look
So.
at our breads, huh? My bread is getting rather brown on
Your bread looks good.
If your bread's already getting super brown on top and you know it's not cooked all the way through, just take a little tin foil, do a light tent on it. That's going to stop any browning and it's going to let your bread continue to cook.
Yep.
Mine's hard. Great. Okay, yeah, take both out.
Wow, look at it's got so
And
tall.
you're next.
It's
Thank
beautiful.
God.
What if it keeps getting taller? Just keeps growing taller and taller and taller and stick it out. Your head gets stuck in the ceiling and then can't get him out. And you're like, oh no, I guess he's there now. What if he just keeps getting bigger and bigger?
I think it needs like 10 to 15 more minutes to pull them out.
Hey Siri, how long does it take for? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, what if he said his own bread? Yeah, it's not there yet.
15 minutes?
Yeah, let's do another 15.
16.
We've covered them now, so there's really no way of knowing unless we start smelling burn. But let's say you undercook it, toast it.
I
Slice
definitely
of
is a backup plan.
I think that the bread is done. Oh, lovely.
Trevor.
Look at the golden brown on the top. Look at the nice little dome. And then you can also see...
I'm waiting for the hot glue
edges
gun to
here.
heat up.
There's a little golden brown down in the pan so you know that it's cooked all the way through. If you're worried about it, bread should be between 190 and 200 degrees if you temp check the middle.
It's been about 35 minutes. We're anxious. Eugene's taking his out, which means I'm also going to take mine out because Eugene is usually right.
Oh, yeah.
Going through.
I don't know, do we have that toothpick? I'm gonna do the cake test.
No, you can't really toothpick test the bread. You could stick a toothpick in a bread, pull it out, and it can come out completely clean, but your dough is still very raw in the middle.
Try.
I'm good. I'd rather it be softer than harder.
That looks like a perfect slice.
You guys are really nice stuff.
So we have to put one loaf to the judges in half.
There we go. Starting
And
to
the
come
other
out.
one we get to slice up our sandwich.
And I'm back. You know, that first ever without a recipe,
With bread.
we made bread.
Yeah.
Did we learn anything in the last 6 years?
We'll find out.
Right after this.
Check this out. I get all of my trendy gifts from Shoppers Drug Mart, so I can get points. Hair tools for Sam, points for me. Cool stuff for Joe, PC Optimum points for me. Happy holidays to me.
Gifts for them, points for you at Shoppers Drug Mart.
Will you marry me?
It's the next day, and now our little chefs just have 1 hour to make their fillings and assemble their sandwiches.
Bread, 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 bread.
We got bread. Look at this. this is all wrapped up. Now one of these is going to be the sandwich, and one has to be just served to the judges for them to inspect. Good. Oh.
Is it really that much heavier?
Yeah.
Our loaves have rested overnight. This looks like bread to me.
Oh, that's actually pretty.
Yeah, so pretty. So the bread is done. It's got a nice crumb to it. When we're talking about crumb, that's sort of what it feels like and how much comes off of the bread when you touch it. It's inside. It's got nice little air pockets that shows a good proof, but they're not big. Take a bite.
All right. Yeah, I mean, actually, it's really great. And the thing I love about this, it passes the bounce back test. That means the gluten has been adequately developed and it wasn't too moist, there wasn't too much fat in the bread. So if you want that nice cheer, if it's just going to compress, it'll be dense, it'll be crappy when you eat it, it'll stick to the cream.
This is a big moment. Cut in and make sure it
You
cooks
some
all the way
squid
through.
like that?
Yeah, that's bread. It's a dense bread. I regret the way that I pushed it down.
So everyone just like, look at how pretty this 5-piece bread is. Yeah, that's nice.
Oh, look at the little salmon chunks.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. It's like a touch dense, but
That's bread.
it's bread.
That's bread. This is bread.
This is the most bread I've ever made on this show.
Oh.
There we go.
Bread. That doesn't look terrible.
That looks
It's
good.
a little dense, but not
Alright.
terrible.
Add the
Oh, it's dense.
glue.
That's really dense.
Add the head.
Let's taste.
Something's happening. Uh-oh. I did a dum-dum.
You can't taste the peanut butter.
So we're making what I'm calling
Oh my
a
God.
turkey club. This is like an Italian version, a little bit chefy, a little bit fancier of a classic turkey club sandwich. So we got prosciutto. We're gonna simply put this in crispy, about 10 minutes, and then
It's
we're
gonna be a
making
little bit more
lovely
trickier.
basil and lemon pecorino aioli from scratch, which we can start on now. But you want to crack 2 eggs in there and then separate 2 eggs just to get
Okay,
some
just
lemon juice, peanut oil,
build
take
up
a bunch of
around where I
basil,
took
and
too
now's
much
the point when we
off,
start
and I'm
adding
just gonna let
flavoring
that
agents to it.
dry for a
After you
second.
finish with salt and a lot of fresh cracked pepper. Layering flavors, that's where sandwiches are born. We're putting a little bit of pecorino in there. Just
I do need to get a different camera angle, but
the Olive Garden.
that's tomorrow Holly's problem.
So what are you doing
Is this
next
gold or
to
just
your
dirt?
wheat?
I want to bring out a lot of sweetness because my bread is going to be more
Ah,
savory.
just
So
dirt.
we're trying to caramelize onions. I love.
It's like a drop in
onions
mud.
are so good and so underrated.
I was stuck out
in
somebody's flower garden for a while.
As much time cooking as possible.
Concrete?
Uni, one of my favorites.
Concrete
Seafoods.
vibes
This is
from
my
here.
sister's favorite, absolute
Maybe
favorite.
it was
I like
buried.
to make basically like an uni butter. I don't really want to mess with the uni too much because it's so delicious. So I'm just gonna mix this together.
How you doing tonight?
Peanut butter.
Welcome to the world's most boring live stream.
Peanut butter. Peanut, salt, a little bit of sugar.
Come on down, must be down, must be down, must be down. Not a lot of beer. Not a lot of beer. Beer mustard, they exist, but I believe they're made in the fermenting process. So they're not just like this. I'm wondering if I should heat the mustard to
I wonder if
boil
I should
out
use a
the
smaller one because it
beer.
is taller.
We're gonna simmer it with more beer to get more beer flavor.
I can always make it shorter. I can't make it
You
tall.
can make peanut butter.
I'm gonna make some onions.
That tastes fun. That's the best thing I've made so far.
So I am doing a lobster scallop banh mi. I love scallops. My only issue is it's one of those things in restaurants where you just kind of want twice the amount they give you. I'm gonna
Ugh, I
make sure
hate
these are
scallops.
seared perfectly. 'Cause
Give me the
these are
lobster,
really
leave the
expensive. I wanna
scallops.
Make sure they're delicious. And I think this is gonna be enough to fill.
I think my sandwich needs to have a little more oomph to it because
It's just
gonna be
sinking. It's a hot
sandwich.
glue.
It's gonna be wet. I need something
Waits to
firm
dry.
to really stand up to it. So this is Hatch chilies. This is for my cheese, but I want to get a little bit of that flavor into the meat as well. I added some white vinegar. This is shredded steak. I wanted something nice and thin that I could give a nice crisp to. And I will be putting some sugar in there as well.
So sandwiches to me, they're all about combinations of textures and flavors. So we have turkey right
I want
here.
to
This is just
change
gonna
the
break
angle
that
before,
meat.
so I'm gonna have
Since
to
we know that
change the
turkey
angle
is
of the neck.
most flavorful element, we are adding crispy prosciutto because then you have your meat and you have your condiment or condiment meat.
Oh.
Okay, we got chicken tenders. Well, I'm
go.
gonna put all these in the dry seasoning first. Dry seasoning has cayenne, salt, pepper, mustard, onion, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, probably oregano, basil, and something else. I'm making a little beer batter over here. Right now, it's just flour and Guinness, but we're gonna put a little salt and some seasoning in there.
Oh, my arthritis.
And beer batter, which is
There we
also
go.
red.
These are guanabana. They're a tropical fruit from the Caribbean. These feel right. I'm excited.
Let's see now. And the neck. It's gonna come forward a bit more. Rawr.
Cheese it in 10 cheesy flavors. Cheesy, crunchy, satisfaction.
I think it's gonna be too annoying and time consuming to take the seeds out, so I'm gonna cook the seeds with it together and then I'll take them out later.
40 minutes.
Okay, let's get frying. We're gonna put in
Let's see.
a couple tenders, 4 at a time. Let's give it 3 minutes.
I don't think I can cut that
Nice.
side
Look
down
how beer
anymore.
batter comes. Yeah,
Is
they
that
are.
I'm
bars
getting
right there?
just the
But we
thicker
can.
juice out because there's a lot of pulp and seed. I am pressing out the juice, and then hopefully it'll be warm enough to add the pectin in. Pick it up. Okay, that's a good amount.
I know lobster is delicious, and I know that back in the day, they used to think they were sea bugs, and they gave them to prisoners because they were such a cheap food source. So sometimes everything.
They used to bury them in the garden here as fertilizer.
Want them to be just like a little chunky, almost like a really thick, like a chicken salad, but you still want nice, good chunks of lobster. So that's enough. I'm gonna give it some flavor. Give it the Vietnamese flavor, so some premium fish sauce. I'm gonna put some mayo with the lobster. So this is shallots, garlic, brown butter.
I like that. I like it a lot.
30 minutes.
No, I don't like it anymore. Bring it back. Bring it back. No, don't sink.
Cheese sauce.
Damn it. That was my fault.
Like Euphoria. Peru. So I'm going
I have to wait till this hardens
saute
completely.
Some garlic and some spices, some chili, smoked paprika, salt, garlic.
I kind of like the angle of the head.
Mix it up a little bit, then you got cheese.
Like
This
she's
is
ah, singing
too much
ah
cheese
to the
or
world.
not enough butter, but this is well, we'll see. I think this is too ooey gooey.
I'm gonna slow cook these onions as long as we can. I want to get these kind of charred. Pour in some beer, pour in the Velveeta, and that'll be my little onion.
She looks so pretentious. I love her.
Uh-oh, the mustard. Stir. Just stir it all. Gonna get this mustard and chill out.
And then here we have arugula. Typically a club sandwich has lettuce and tomato, but arugula's got some more flavor to it. What the heck? And then we're actually going to dress it with a little bit of olive oil, lemon, salt, and pepper. Again, if you're using vegetables, there's always a chance to season and add more flavor.
So next, I need to prep my vegetables.
Yep.
Daikon radish. So normally I think.
No!
I would chop this up.
Stop it. Stop sinking. I need you to be standing tall.
Vinaigrette kick. You don't know what it is? Sometimes it's the thing that looks like strings under your sushi.
I love pickled daikon. It is
Me too.
so delicious.
Yeah, I'm trying to do a very quick pickle. Quickle. Doing a quickle.
A quickle.
Quickle.
I put a cup of butter in here now because but now it looks too oily. Uh-oh.
What are you making?
Okay, we're gonna drain some oil out. I don't know if I need more cheese or less oil or more melty time or what, but something's wrong about this. Do we think this looks appetizing?
What are you making right there?
Queso.
I'm from Texas. You can ask me about the queso.
I don't want a queso.
That's not queso.
Yeah, no shit. Oh, I forgot the fucking milk. It's not a roux if you don't have milk. So we're gonna try this again. I'm gonna see if I can't combine these.
Yeah, stressful.
All right, just try.
That in a way that you don't think that I have time
All
to
right.
do
In the
so.
meantime, I'll get the clay going.
I'm melting in my failed cheese into the successful queso. Look at this, there's more queso.
Yeah, that does look more queso.
Oh, I'm missing a color.
Beer cheese. Cheese
These are the same. I need the other color. Why do I have two the same?
Oh, you got a deep fryer too?
Well, I was gonna maybe shallow fry them.
Good.
Confidence.
There we go.
Okay. I'm frying. I'm frying.
Do 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 do.
Okay, off.
We have Mr. Josh coming, right? The finest Josh wine. I'm gonna just try and soak this beef. Yeah.
Stay, you little motherfucker.
Yeah, we're getting funky up in here. It is sandwich time. Architecture is a big part of the sandwich. When you're making an aioli that is like 98% fat content, that's going to prevent a lot of moisture from seeping into the bread. It's also a great way to hold things in place, like arugula, which is going to be our next layer. This arugula is nicely dressed, so we got some acid, we got some oil in there. Then I'm going to go right with the turkey. Since this is a 3-layer sandwich, we're kind of alternating layers of meats and vegetables and cheeses on here. I'll layer on our provolone picante. It's a nice sharp cheese. And then we're going to add our middle piece of bread on a nice thick layer of, these are roasted tomatoes, simply garlic, olive oil, salt, pepper. I'm going to do a little bit more turkey. You're doing great, man. I'm pretty stoked on this.
Beautiful.
I think it's going to be too tall. You can all smash it down.
Yeah, you can smash it down.
There we go. There we go. Nice little smash. There we have it. There's our free club. So if you look at the layers here, this shows how a perfect sandwich should come together. The bread has enough structure to where you see the moisture from the arugula and aioli starting to seep in, but it's not getting to the edge. It's created a perfect barrier for a moist sandwich that is structurally intact. And the crispy prosciutto up top for that lovely texture, and then cartoonish green olive.
10 minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna start assembly. This is a
I don't like olives.
a must.
I'm an olive fan. Never was.
Lean butter. Ooh, I like how you can still see what it means. Okay, so let's add lobster. If I know anything about lobster rolls, you want as much lobster as possible.
Amen.
Scallops.
Eugene knows how to make a lobster roll. As much lobster as you can.
Okay, let's assemble the first beautiful
Bread is just something on the side of the plate.
It's a dense bread. I don't have enough time to toast all the bread, so we're toasting half the bread. Alright, this was Zach's 10-minute soak. I'm hoping it just gives it like a little funkiness. A little funky fresh. Eat this and go, goddamn. I ain't never had no beef like that before.
Cheese directly on the bread. Yeah, 2 feels like plenty. Look at this. This tomato's gorgeous.
That's a gorgeous.
That is a pretty tomato. It kind of looks like applesauce, but it's jam, I say. Maybe I'll cut it in little triangles, because that's what you do. Oh, it's all oozing out.
You like that sandwich? Looks like it has cum on it. That's the first time I look at that sandwich, and my God.
Alright. Are you dry enough to work with? I think so. Okay.
Oh no! It does look funny!
Like peanut butter and cups.
You know, I think my metric for success here is just beating Zach.
Only 2 minutes left.
Beef.
There we go.
These caramelized
There we go.
You
What do you
ready?
think?
This is the moment. This
It's
is
a
where it
little
all
bit tall, but
happens.
that's okay for today.
Yeah.
Queen.
Okay, let him dry. In the meantime, tell me I'm ready to go.
Finally, the imperial caviar. So we have caviar from Russia and Germany.
5, 4, 3,
Second bread.
1. Hands up.
Need some tools.
Wow, I don't know how to stack this. Wow.
I don't know how people make YouTube videos and you can see everything they're doing.
Like, a deacon. That was disgusting.
Yeah.
That was really gross.
Oh, wow.
I completely lost my train of thought. Today we're going to be judging on taste, presentation, creativity, and is it a sandwich?
For me, good sandwich bread, it's really important. There's a few things. You don't want to overproof your bread because that's what causes tearing. You want a tight roll on it so you don't have big holes, and then a nice crumb on the bread. You don't want it to be too dense or too fluffy.
What makes a good sandwich for me is balance. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. That's my personal preference. I like breads to be 2/3 and then the filling to be 1/3.
I want a wow factor. There's so many boring sandwiches out there, right? Anyone can make a turkey and cheese. You know, we've all grown up making PB&Js and whatnot. I want somebody to come in and wow me. To me, the best sandwich is the sandwich that makes me go,
Oh, I'll
make you gas.
Hello, judges. Well, when I think sandwiches, I think lunchtime. And when I think lunchtime, I think cafeteria and school. So I wanted to bring you something like brown bag lunch situation. So I am presenting to you a peanut butter and soursop jam sandwich. It's a jam.
I said I wanted to be loud, and I know this doesn't give you that illusion of like a big old Dagwood sandwich, you know, but this is a certain wow factor to me. It is very evocative of a cafeteria brown bag lunch. You know, it looks like a PB&J with chips, but it's obviously very different. I will say the soursop, it is giving, like the Latinate root would be Seminole vibe to it. Which isn't bad, it's just a look, almost looks like a marshmallow fluff.
This presentation is giving me nostalgia.
Yes.
Like this looks like a sandwich that my mom would make for me and brown paper bag it, open it up.
All right, let's get into this loaf here. So I'm noticing here, this is what I was talking about, this pairing here. This is happening because of overproofing. There's too much air bubbles going on in there. Oh, this is a good sign. Dense. All right, let's see. This is a dense
A cup of water here.
Press. It is definitely soft, but it's got a very dense crumb. I think that tends to be a signature of overproofing, right? Is where the bottom, because it sort of collapses in on itself. Yeah. Like the bottom is going to be super dense because literally the weight, the gluten structures aren't able to actually hold it up. Predicting it's going to be a little bit chewy, but we need to taste it. I think that we need to taste it. That is a texture of bread that I've never had before. New experiences are what food is about, and I think positive and negative is a false dichotomy. You know, you bite into it, it's like one just like, it's like gum. It's like a gum. It's like a paste. It's like a paste in your mouth. Yeah.
Is it under?
It's under or over, it's, I think
Incorrect?
It's incorrect.
I wonder if it's because I put peanut butter in the dough as well.
That'll do it.
Peanut butter is so incredibly finicky to work with in terms of baking because the fat properties, so if you add like a couple drops of water and try and stir it to peanut butter, the fat seizes immediately. And so a lot of people in baking will use what's called defatted peanut powder.
So powder peanut butter for future reference.
Yeah. Also though, I've noticed you put an incredible amount of salt in the dough.
See, the peanut butter was salted.
Okay.
And then I added some salt.
Here's the thing, I'm very easy to please because this is peanut butter and jelly. So even though, you know, all the things working against it, I'm getting peanut butter and jelly into my mouth. It's actually good by itself. I could really see soursop jelly working in like a dessert capacity.
I still enjoyed the flavors. Like this is a sandwich I could eat. The bread was just technical issues for making bread without recipe. This is pretty cool.
I think it's like so many points for creativity.
Texturing.
I don't think I've ever eaten soursop before. I think I was recently at a place that had soursop ice cream, and I was like,
which is so good.
yeah, I went with strawberries and cream, to be clear. I didn't get the soursop. But it piqued my interest. You're such an adventurous little traveler here. I saw it. I did not get it. Such a hater. This is almost exactly what I was looking for in terms of creativity. Like, you are playing off of an established dish, especially one that we have nostalgia for.
Well, I really love that you tried to make like a peanut butter bread, like putting peanut butter, the idea of putting peanut butter into the bread. That's something I've never had before.
My esteemed judges, is it a sandwich?
Yeah.
I would say so, based on my knowledge of sandwiches.
I made a sandwich!
Okay, I think she's blended pretty good. It's not perfect, but I think it'll be done for when I paint. That one's done. Alright, next.
Hi, Josh.
Eugene,
Last time you were here, I gave you blood in cinnamon rolls.
I was very impressed.
Thank you.
This season I'm fancy.
You might say, okay. Bougie. Because I've had the women in my family inspire each dish. This one is my older sister, and she has very high tastes. I present to you my brioche banh mi.
Wow.
Dive into the cool waters of the fancy.
This looks.
Whoa!
Eugene, get the heck out of here. Wow. This looks incredible. Got the scallops on there.
Little caviar.
The fresh jalapeno, the ikura, the salmon roe. You got the daikon and the carrot pickle. This is really, really impressive.
Ever since I opened my eyes, I've been trying to picture in my head how I'm gonna eat this.
That's a good question.
Ooh.
Yeah, as the chef intended, is it a fold-over situation?
Yeah, it's a challenge.
Okay. Nice little braid here, no braid on top. It doesn't have any like tearing on the edges. That's very good. This is a little bit more dense, I think, than a brioche would normally be. Brioche, it's very important that you add the butter gradually and let it all get mixed into the dough. It smells nice.
Well, Trevor, can you tell me what you're smelling for?
Good bread smell.
Okay.
Do you smell any other ingredients?
There
Maybe-
is.
Do you see
What
any
is the
ingredients?
secret? Wait, what is that? Josh, eat it.
That, judges, is salmon. So I baked salmon into the bread, just to continue the brioche theme.
This smells very fishy. I can smell a lot of seafood, but I didn't smell it in the bread.
This just smells like
But
bread.
this might be overwhelming my nose. So I don't
I just
know.
want to fish throughout.
I will say you for the really tough challenge. This is big.
Smallest bread of the three.
But it wasn't very ergonomic.
I don't know how.
But I'd be curious to see if you could discover all the ingredients in there. There's quite a bit.
Wow. Yeah, I did a little 2-bite.
That's how we got that nickname.
Whoa. Okay. Okay, fellas. I got it. No, I don't know. Thank you, Rachel. Okay, I got this. I'm going to,
It's so bougie.
It's so bougie. See? There we go.
Here we go. My bread on there.
Sandwich.
Still.
Bougie.
The brioche is eating slightly croutony. Any
Jeez
sort of
Louise.
critique that I can have.
That was
is
not fun
just
on my
removed
ears.
Away from my face by the fact that this is one of the most pleasant things I've put in my mouth in a long time. Like, this is genuinely, the flavors are really good. The scallops are well cooked. The lobster is well cooked.
I struggled with technically getting this in my mouth, but once it was in there, I enjoyed the flavors and the textures.
The bread tastes really good on its own. Like, it is a little cakey, but maybe just thinner slices so that it wasn't so hard to get your mouth around. No, this tastes phenomenal.
I love the creativity. I've never had this much seafood and variety of seafood on a sandwich before.
If it was like cooked by somebody slightly, like, no offense, like doing someone slightly better at cooking than the other one. But no, this is absolutely a dish that I could see on a menu right now that would genuinely take off. This is an awesome idea and executed pretty damn well.
I'm not trying to be a dick, but I am as a viewer surprised that you don't think there's any gray area in this as a sandwich. Because, like, look at it. It's not a sandwich.
When I think of sandwiches, I think of them as finger foods. You can pick it up, and so she's thick. Just these slices is just thick.
I like it thick. Now the most important question of all. Is it a sandwich?
I feel like we made it a sandwich by putting it together.
Functionally, based on the fact that one of the people at the table couldn't get their mouth around it and needed a fork and knife, and two of the people were able to take one bite before giving up and splitting it back open, sandwich adjacent.
It is a less sandwichy sandwich than many sandwiches, in the same way that a Chihuahua is a less doggy dog than a Golden Retriever. But a Chihuahua is still a dog, thus the sandwich, I think, is a sandwich.
Yeah.
Absorb impurities and see visible results in just one use. Neutrogena.
Judges, queef.
Thank you.
Queef.
And that is...
That was the presentation.
Okay, everybody close their eyes.
No one's gonna address that.
I'm excited.
What are we eating?
Smell it.
You get some queso, you get some beef. Put it together, what's that smell? Please enjoy my delicious queef. What you have before you is a steak and queso sandwich. The bread is an onion loaf.
It's got a nice crumb. It's, again, a little bit chewy, but it's got some nice air pockets.
Air pockets.
Oh, that's
funny.
Oh,
Give the keepsake. We're
got it.
queef.
Sorry.
This one also was really big, so right before baking it, I was just push it down.
Oh, yeah, you're not supposed to.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
Generally.
I was thinking about how cakes kind of like boil over, and I'm like, get back in there, little guy.
And you can tell now that because he punched it down, that's where all these wrinkles are coming from. It's not a nice smooth top.
We're doing it? All right.
Let's fucking go. Go for it, bro. Get to the queef. Tell me.
These are very good flavors that are going around my mouth. Like this is, I mean, it's a vodka with a Philly cheesesteak. You have the processed cheese, like a cheese whiz.
Can you both sniff it? Because it tastes really good, but it smells weird.
Okay.
Never mind.
All right. All right.
the flavors are good, but it does smell a little funny. I don't know if
Is it the
it's like,
jardinera? So speaking of plants, there's like brassicas in there. So like I just got some cauliflower. Is this a jardinera?
Yeah, I cooked the beef with jardinera and used that juice as well.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Slightly pickled, but duller.
Yeah. It's like surprise cauliflower blast to the face that you wouldn't expect on a cuisine.
Right, I was biting into this and I got this weird thing in here and I pulled it out and it's just this huge chunk of cauliflower. And so there's so many things that I like, but this is really throwing me off.
Right, so at my restaurant, whoever finds the cauliflower, you bring it up to the table and you can trade that in for an extra queef on the house.
Oh. Okay. It's a little soggy. It got a little soggy, but other than that, I like everything else going on here flavor-wise.
The fact that you punched your bread down, Zach, made it so dense that it is absorbing all of the steak.
Yes.
And somehow against all odds.
You get it.
You've made a great, well-constructed sandwich. I mean, I've been tearing it apart to look at it, but this is holding up really well.
Mine just didn't hold together.
Mine didn't
It's
either.
falling apart and tearing apart.
I'm not trying to do this. This isn't intentional. This just keeps happening. I love the crazy way. I think it's really cool to try to put onion like in your bread. Execution maybe not perfect,
Probably.
but your heart was in the right place, and that's what matters.
Yeah. Judges, is it a sandwich?
Yeah.
This is definitely a sandwich.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Really, the whole episode for me was trying to get you guys to all say this is one delicious queef. So,
Well,
Should we
I
do it
think
on three?
one thing that comes to my mind after eating the sandwich.
this is one delicious queef. Dun, 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 dun.
I think we're just gonna end the episode here today. Judges, we've been to the schoolyard, we've been to the sea, we've even been to a third location. Boy, after all the travel, I sure could use a beer right now, you know what I'm saying? I'd like to introduce you to the beer sandwich. That's right, a sandwich with a lot of beer. What you have before you is a beer bread with a beer cheese and a beer mustard with beer battered chicken tenders. Please enjoy a sandwich with so much beer in it.
How is every ingredient so thick?
It's really thick.
Have any of you seen like a sandwich before?
Okay, a little dense. A little dense there.
It's kind of themed today, though. A lot of the breads are fairly dense. Yeah, it's soft enough. I think it's just going to be chewy.
This is really creative. When I went to Ireland, that's the first time that I had a bunch of dishes where they used Guinness for so many things that I wouldn't even think of, and one of them was bread. They incorporated it into different things, but you've incorporated it to everything here, other than the tomato. And
Yeah, so there's
really cool.
Guinness in the beer battered chicken tenders. There's Pilsner in the bread and in the beer cheese. And then there's a sour in the mustard.
I'm looking at the cheese. Can you tell me the ingredients to this beer cheese?
Yes, it was, I sauteed some onions and then added in a Pilsner and then added in only Velveeta, sliced Velveeta.
You didn't want the alcohol to cook out. You wanted to keep all of that sort of
Beer.
Vomit-inducing flavor in there. That's good. Okay. It is.
Beer.
The beer.
Try the
Yeah.
whole goddamn
I'm
sandwich.
trying to hold on. Sorry.
You're not.
Okay.
You're licking around and choosing what you want. Eat the experience the chef designed.
Saving gifts for the kids and PC after points for me!
Lysol Laundry Disinfectant. Eliminates germs detergents leave behind. Lysol, what it takes to protect.
I feel like I have a hyperactive 9-year-old MMA fighter just like running around kicking the inside of my mouth. I'm being assaulted by this, but not in a bad way. There's literally so many flavors in here.
Whoa.
Because of all the different beers, like using the wild yeasted sour in there. And so this is almost like at the end of the night, I'm just shoving cheesesteaks and chicken fingers and mozzarella sticks in my mouth and then trying to wash it down with like a Busch Light that's been sitting out for 8 hours in the counter.
Yeah.
Somebody asks a cigarette into it and you're like, whatever, I don't care. That's kind of the sandwich, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That reminds me of
That's a
college.
description. Alright, I need some.
Cheese sandwich. Like, I could gone to the store and dropped
Hello.
$200 on expensive fish. I got you some fucking delicious chicken, a mustard, and Velveeta, baby.
Whatever did you keep?
Nothing. I'm just letting them know because I seem to be disparaging the ingredients.
I love beer. I love drinking. And then when I bite into it, it's so weird. It reminds me of in college we used to play King's Cup. And one night we ran out of the good stuff and we were just mixing all these different beers.
I like to consider myself a simple, hardworking man.
There we go. Look at that.
And this is a simple,
Smooth to the
hardworking
plate.
man's
Perfect
sandwich.
texture.
And I really enjoy it. I do have a question. Are either of you feeling like some of the ingredients are like kind of coagulating in the cement on like the back of your teeth?
That's the Velveeta and the beer. But it's kind of cool because then you can lick it and it's like a salt lick. Kind of drips in the back of the throat.
It's definitely meant to be served piping hot, and it isn't. You know, obviously,
Right.
cold breaded chicken is gross, cold cheese is gross. So,
I feel like my body is having, you know when you relive things, it's like having muscle memory. It's like, whoa, don't mix these again. It's like,
sounds like you should have lived a smarter life earlier. Because then it wouldn't evoke that memory.
The bread is very good. It is actually the best bread of the day.
Oh, okay.
And
There's
a
some
lot of great
more
flavor, a lot of great sugars came out of that beer.
textures. So
I
I'm
think
gonna
that
add
was
some
your
more
most
of those.
successful application of beer.
Yeah, you didn't like the beer everywhere else.
Not necessarily.
These are the sandwich.
it's a boozy sandwich.
Absolutely. Yeah. We all made it.
Yeah, we all made sandwiches today.
I just wanted to say before we get to the reveal that nobody makes bread without a recipe, and making bread with a recipe is already extremely difficult and a lot can go wrong. All four of you managed to make a loaf of bread that wasn't exceptional or knockout or super amazing, but you made a loaf of bread without a recipe. It was really impressive. So congratulations. That was very, very well done.
Thank you. Everyone hug Eugene.
No.
Oh yeah, you promised me a hug this episode.
No, I know I did.
You promised it.
I will hug you if you win.
You know what to do, judges.
I'm gonna be announcing fourth place today. This sandwich and the bread made was a really fun twist on something that we're all familiar with. But unfortunately, the bread itself, the texture and the flavor just didn't make the cut today. I'm so sorry, Marissa.
Yeah, I knew it.
Place.
Yeah. I get it.
Also, we've made bread on this show a few times
Many
before.
times.
So
Yeah.
your bread was way better than
I'm
our
like
first time.
on track with how this show works.
I have the immense pleasure of announcing the third place sandwich. This sandwich had a lot of ingredients. It was a fun idea. It just didn't really end up tasting that good, unfortunately. Keith, third place, the beer sandwich.
Holy shit.
Keep your beer, buddy.
Oh. I'm disappointed. I thought I did a really good job. This is the lowest I've placed so far this season. I was really a ones and twos boy, and you brought me down to the threes. Even my ham cookies.
Buddy, it's okay. Drink your beer.
Drink your beer. Drink your beer.
Keith
Sorry, you've only been so second so far. It's just one little bit.
Looks alright.
I have the pleasure of announcing today's winner.
Now for the horse.
Sandwich and sandwich bread.
I might not have enough tonight to finish it.
Homage to your sister. You gave us all the ingredients in the sea. Zach, you gave us, I would say, very mediocre everything. That sort of averaged out to a relatively good sandwich. And today, I'm very happy to announce that our winner is Zach. You did it. You did it. Absolutely. You did it. I'm so sorry, but the fact that none of us ate your sandwich as a sandwich, we had to grade it as such. It was easily the best thing we tasted. Zach's was somewhere in the third range. But combining every single element of is it a sandwich, what's the creativity, and how did it taste, Zach ended up with the highest composite score, winning on what I can only call a technicality.
Okay, no, now I'm mad. I lost to a f***ing queen?
I'm coming for my hug. Get over here, baby.
Get in there.
The hug has to be it takes two to hug.
A queef beat my sister. Tune in next week for the grand finale of this season of War. And guess what? We're getting married. Not me and him, because he did that with his wife. It's Wedding Cakes. The hardest, tallest, biggest episode yet.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Next week on Without a Recipe, s'mores. For real this time.
Doesn't it smell like bones?
I don't know. Ah!
I also don't know. Ah!
Paramount Plus is now Canada's home of South Park.
We're in Canada. Ah, Jesus Christ.
Geez, watching me live stream, that's not a good thing. Do. I'll be live stream Inception. Sure, come on, game theory.
Our good friend Logan Paul's back in the news with Prime. To celebrate 1 billion bottles sold, that's right, 1 billion with a B, Logan and KSI once again went crazy over the top in the way that only they can. They decided to create a solid gold bottle worth $500,000. A bottle that was set to self-destruct unless someone was able to guess the correct number combination in the case that it was in. The code was guessed, and the Prime bottle was won by a lucky young boy whose life got changed forever by a Prime bottle. Truly, we live in a dystopia. Anyway, this whole thing got me thinking, that's no way to celebrate a milestone. I mean, the only true way that you can celebrate something this big is in the most classic way possible, a cake. So today, Santi and I are challenging ourselves to make a cake out of Prime. And spoiler alert, it ends up being exactly the cake that Logan Paul deserves.
I can say that it smells very strong and oddly sour.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Food Theory, where today it's Prime Day. Not Amazon Prime, we are talking Prime. Mr. Super infused with potassium instead of sodium, rehydration Prime. I know, we've had our fair share of negative things to say about Logan Paul / KSI's product in the past, but today we're putting all our differences aside to commemorate their 1,000,000th bottle. Because honestly, and I gotta give props where props are due, that is a huge accomplishment, especially for a YouTube-born brand. So really proud of those guys, even though I'm not quite proud of their past actions. Anyway, what better way to celebrate than by creating a cake with Prime infused into every part of the recipe? It's kind of like our Mountain Dew pizza episode, except this time it's even less healthy. But today's episode isn't just about celebration, it's also about hydration. Obviously, Prime Hydration's main selling feature is that it's meant to replenish your
Hey, sweetie.
electrolytes and keep you hydrated throughout the day.
My cat's
But
coming
what
for me,
the
so.
problem that we're faced with today is that baked goods actually dry you out. So today, Santi and I are setting out not just to challenge ourselves by baking a cake for Prime, but also baking a cake from Prime in an effort to see if we can
Hi,
create
sweetie.
the world's first hydration cake.
Ooh, that's a bad idea.
It's revolutionary, and who knows,
There
it
you
might
go.
end up being revolting. It looks Like we slaughtered a Smurf. But before I dive in, we need to first establish what being hydrated is, what about a cake it is that dries us out, and finally, how Prime could work to counteract that. Once we have those answers, it's just a matter of whipping it all up and trying it for ourselves, and not to give too much away too soon, but let's just say the results are something to be beheld. To start things off, what exactly does it mean to be hydrated? Well, our bodies need water for a whole lot of processes. You may have heard that common factoid that the human body is 60% water, but I feel like that isn't really enough context for it. To put it a different way, our brain and heart, they're about 73% water. Our lungs come in at about 83%. Our muscles and kidneys hover around 79%. And our bones,
Okay, come here.
water. A third of your bones are just good old H2. Oh yeah.
Jesus.
So now you understand why the
I
human
can't
body
move when you sit there behind the wheels.
but barely one without water. We lose it in practically everything we do. Sweating,
Come here.
exhaling, going to the bathroom. In fact, we
Get a break.
3 quarts of water, or just about 12 cups of it per day. And when we need it for our blood, our joints, our eyes, skin, digestive system, flushing out toxins, and finding the will to live on blistering summer days, it's slightly important to replenish what we're losing.
chair.
Hydration isn't as simple
Get
as
your
just
chair.
drinking a bunch of water. You also need electrolytes. Electrolytes is one of those vague words that we hear about in our day-to-day lives without much of a second thought, but what these are, in essence, are minerals in your blood and other bodily fluids that help keep the water inside your body, the acidity in your blood, and your muscle functioning all in a very specific state of homeostasis, the state of balance that your body needs to be in. Electrolytes, which include things like calcium, sodium, and potassium, are electrically charged and help direct water to the parts of your body that need it through osmosis. To bring back the biology class that we've all tried to shove into the dank, dark corners of our collective minds, water in our body moves from areas of high concentration to low concentration, and electrolytes basically act as the aircraft marshalers directing it to the right places. So being hydrated means not just replenishing water, but also those charged ions, which your body reabsorbs through what's called the sodium-glucose co-transport system that exists in your gut. As the name suggests, that co-transport system needs glucose, or sugar, to function properly. Without the sugar, we can still absorb the electrolytes, but we can't do it as efficiently. Cake has sugar, so we should be halfway to rehydration. Unfortunately for our cause today, too much sugar ends up having detrimental effects. When your gut absorbs a large amount of
No,
sugar,
no, I'm not. I'm gonna finish the horse's head with what I got, and then we'll go to bed.
your cells, saliva, tears, and skin in order to flood your now sugar-rich blood with water to try and balance the whole thing out. As a result, you become more dehydrated. Considering that cakes contain cups and cups of sugar, and the icing on top is
Oh my God!
flavored sugar, this means that cake leaves us looking like baby prunes. Our hypothesis today, though, is that by introducing Prime Hydration,
Okay, come here.
we'll be able to balance out some of the copious amounts of sugar, helping reintroduce electrolytes into our body so that less water is used to compensate for the sugar that we're eating.
I don't work tonight,
outside my
so
wheelhouse, which is why I had to call in the help.
I'd be late for work if I was.
Santi with creating for us today actually is designing a recipe that uses Prime Hydration beverage as its core base to create the world's first Prime cake.
So, I have this wonderful vanilla cake recipe that I love, and we're gonna take that as a base, and build
Okay.
on it.
That's a nice way of saying bastardize it for content. So there you go.
I'm trying not to be precious about it, but it's
Okay.
a recipe.
I
Anyway,
know you want. Listen,
so what I'm
it is not even midnight yet. I'm gonna go up in 15 minutes, okay? 15. Here, get your chair.
Make their baked good, they use the liquid.
Yeah.
And the problem is there's a lot of water in that, but we're gonna use the hydration sticks instead of the actual drink.
So that way we get to keep all the sugars and electrolytes inside the hydration mix,
That's
but
it.
also
That's
keep
it.
all the goodness of the cake.
Right, and being able to control for all the other variables. This is what is pure.
Just stay there.
The pure goodness, the pure essence.
Uncut prime.
Pure prime.
100% pure Colombian prime. Right there.
Oh, they'll never get that reference.
Oh, I'm sure people will understand. Read between the lines.
There's another joke.
So, let's get cooking, shall we?
Okay.
Santi, take me through the flavors and why we chose them.
We're starting off with a vanilla cake base because obviously we want something that is plain and easy to build on in terms of flavor. So we're gonna go with ice pop and lemon lime for the flavor of the actual meat of the cake, if you will.
Nice carnivore cake.
You don't like meaty cakes?
Actually not, but sure, we'll go with that.
Fair enough. So for the sponges of the cake, we're gonna go with ice pop, which is a nice sweet tart flavor. The lemon lime is a nice, the lemon really comes through strong. So it's
Similar to like a lemon cake, right?
And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make a cake that's actually yummy and that you want to eat.
Yeah, that you're gonna serve to your next like 15-year-old Maverick's birthday party, as opposed to something
something that we're just making for the views on YouTube.
And then for the icing, we're going with blue.
Blue raspberry?
Blue.
Just blue.
You know, I said it. I know what I said.
Why these three specifically? Just out of curiosity.
So we wanted to try and make this as normal as possible. The ice pop flavor, me and Sam, thank you, behind the scenes, tried every powder just by itself. Worst experience ever. So sour.
Really? Worst experience? I feel like there's got to be some like worst experiences in your life.
Very few. Okay, we're gonna try this now. You're gonna have to take a good little like mouth. Oh, come on.
All these muscles for no reason.
Alright.
Oh, I'm so muscular. Oh, forgive me, I'm so fit.
There we go. Knock that back.
This is like a pixie stick.
Worst pixie stick you'll ever have.
Smells nice. A little bit sour, a little bit salty.
You're dead inside. My muscles were.
You're dead inside.
For like
All right.
20 seconds after this.
Maybe you have too many muscles.
All of this. I'm gonna live that down.
Oh no, I am never gonna forgive you. Can I hang from your arm?
Oh yeah.
Hold me up.
Oh wait, I'm a lefty. Here, actually try this. I'm curious now. Can we try this? We're gonna do this. All right, ready?
Okay, here we go, ready?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay.
You couldn't see it. His feet were off the ground.
Here we go.
Yeah. So the reason we use ice was.
Santi is sweating there a little bit.
Honestly, it's. I mean, you're.
Oh shit, you're still plugged in.
You know, in a great way. In a great way.
I'm not used to eat your own damn prime cake.
I'm not used to grown men hanging off my arms anymore.
Right, that's what it is. Handle flavor, Santi.
And you know what? You're right. My palate is so refined that anything not offensive is just.
I love that everyone behind the camera is just collectively rolling their eyes and shaking their head at what's going on right now.
Let me be on camera.
I mean, this seems like an interesting flavored cake, I will say.
It's gonna be a trip for your taste buds.
Food theory so often is. I have tasted some of the strangest things in my life thanks to this channel.
Before we insult my cake that we're gonna make, we are going to probably insult it. But the cake itself, and we'll put the recipe down below, it's so good.
While Santi takes a minute to mourn his recipe, let me walk you through the ingredients that we use for the cake. First, we start by cracking 4 eggs into the mixing bowl. Then you're going to add a 1.5 cups of sugar. You're going to gently mix those for about 7 minutes. Once that's done, you're going to add the dry mixture, which is made of 2 cups of flour, 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Thanks, Santi. Next, we come to the actual prime portion. We're going to be mixing in 2 sticks of ice pop into one layer and 2 of lemon lime into the other. Once your eggs and dry ingredients are all combined, you're slowly going to be pouring in some warm milk and butter. We actually tempered our milk by adding in a small amount of our mixture to help cool it down so it wouldn't cook the batter as we stirred. That's the goop that you're seeing right there as Santi pours it in. Once all of that's combined, you're ready to pour it into the mold and stick it in the oven.
Tap, tap. Give me 3 taps. There you go.
Don't do it. 4th tap too many?
No, 4 taps is way too many. And all the air bubbles will be gone on the 4th tap. You don't get 4 wishes from the genie for a reason.
I never thought of it that way. You are so right.
It's because of the air bubbles.
It's because of the air bubbles. All right, cut to the fancy cam. Woo, fancy cam. We upped the production for this one. Going to the little rack. He's already preheated at 350. And down. And down. Ready? 3 more. Go. 1, 2. And that's why you only get 3 wishes from a genie. You get 3 wishes from a genie and 2 squats. All right, we're gonna set in there for how long, Santi?
20 to 30 minutes.
20, 30 minutes, there we go. So, I guess that's more bonding time for us.
Oh, yay!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, 20 minutes have elapsed. Our prime cakes are out of the oven. It looks a lot like sliced ham over there. Like, I can't even... First off, these are some thin boys. Hey, Santi, I know we're being health conscious on the channel right now. We could have made them a little bit more robusto, I feel like.
I wanted to limit how much we needed to put into our mouths.
I don't know, man. I'm eager to put this in my mouth. But, right, doesn't this look like a slice of ham? This looks like a slice of ham to me.
I mean, we're gonna put icing over it. Don't put that into your head yet.
I can say that it smells very strong and oddly sour. My house now smells like Logan Paul. Please get Logan Paul out of my house.
So let's review, shall we?
Yeah, I should have cut off the under the throat a bit more.
Hung up each other's arms.
Yes.
You punched me in the stomach. Is this the effect of Logan Paul? Is this the effect of Prime?
This is the machismo that I feel coursing through my body.
It's just like gone in through our veins, and now we're just like, oh, manly man.
The most masculine episode of Food Theory.
Having completed our little moment of toxic masculinity, it was time to put the icing together. And that's when it became clear that it was going to be a rough road ahead.
It's very powerful.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We'll see how it all comes together.
Can you show the camera kind of what's happening in this school?
No.
I think it would be really fun and exciting if you did.
You know what? I hate you all.
I'll spare you from what followed, which was 20 minutes of Santi trying to figure out what exactly went wrong with his icing, which ended up looking a whole lot less like icing, a whole lot more like sand.
So hi, welcome back to the kitchen. Santi has made an incredible discovery, and I think we all are equally surprised by the revelation that Santi has had. Santi, can you communicate to the camera the oversight that happened that we've been trying to fix and figure out here?
Yes, Matthew. In the week that I was working on these recipes, both the cake and the icing, one thing that I didn't take into consideration when making the icing recipe was the actual powder from the hydration stick being incorporated into the icing. I was more concerned with making the icing itself. Now finding out the coarseness of the prime hydration stick is very granulated.
It's like drippy sand. This stuff is like kinetic sand.
Make your shower more with Dove. More flavors in more than just a body wash. With so many ways to indulge, there's a Dove for everybody. Twinings, drinking life.
That being said, it tastes like a banger. Texture, hot mess. Just hottest of messes. But from a flavor standpoint, this is actually pretty good. So,
You know what? I tried my best with what I had.
What is the one ingredient that I'm overlooking here? Oh yeah, the prime hydration.
Slight oversight, but
Slight oversight.
It works for the cake. I made the cake recipe that we built upon, and it worked. I figured it would be the same thing for the icing. You just incorporate some prime hydration stick on top of the recipe that you make, and it would work out fine. I was wrong.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is a lesson for us all.
Huh, go figure. Guess that's what happens when you don't actually use the main ingredient when you're putting together a recipe. What were you expecting, Santi? Let's go down the list of things that went wrong in this train wreck to try and put the final few nails in the coffin that is Santi's dignity. As it turns out, adding an excessive amount of salt is gonna make your cake sponge insanely dense. This is because salt molecules form strong bonds with the flour proteins, causing the gluten molecules to become less mobile, which in turn makes the batter tighter and more elastic. This is desirable if you're making bread dough, but definitely not desirable if you're making cake batter. And unfortunately for Santi, we also got the ultra combo with the fact that we added 4 grams of sugar to each half of the cake through those prime sticks, which knocked his precious recipe off balance with way too much sugar, thereby contributing more to the rock-like density of this cake. The icing was something he also didn't expect, but luckily for us, Steph stepped in with the answer that we needed, just that she stepped in way too late.
Go figure.
It's Ionic. Come on. Chemistry.
You see, cake frosting is an emulsion. An emulsion is a mixture of 2 liquids that don't normally mix, like oil and water, but it's stabilized by an emulsifying agent. In this case, the butter and egg acted as those agents. They help fuse the fats and the waters together into that delicious delicacy that we spread all over the cake. The extra salt from the prime sticks, though, decreased the stability of the emulsifying agents and disrupted the careful balance of ions in the emulsion, causing it to split into the grainy, goopy phloem that we ended up with. So let's see everyone's reactions to this, I was gonna say cake, but
So it's this time. Are we, this is as close as we've gotten so far.
Yes.
It looks like we slaughtered a Smurf. It has the texture of phloem, Nickelodeon phloem. However, I will say, it tastes good.
It does taste.
It looks, it looks traumatic, but it tastes good. Oh boy, so what do you say?
Kick me while I'm down, why don't you?
We put this episode out of its misery by icing ourselves a prime cake.
Please, let's do it.
Alright, let's pull out those sponges. You know what?
I hate Prime. I hate you, Logan Paul.
You
I
know
hate
what?
everything about it.
You know what? In the true spirit of Logan Paul, we overpromised and underdelivered. So, the only thing that we're missing at this point, besides the better cake, is the word prime. We gotta really hype the brand, you know? Here we go. Let's do it, boys. I'm gonna write prime right here. Oh yeah, that's that. You're gonna run that. Oh, you know it. It's gonna say prime. Let's go, boys.
the print cake. Slap that one on a thumbnail and send it to print, ladies and gentlemen. It's a prime cake. Yo. Someone here. It's the, ladies and gentlemen, the fruits of our labor today. Prime cake. It looks. Man, it is so dense. I know.
Oh yeah, I think I was gonna start some more audiobooks.
You walked into the kitchen at the perfect time.
No, you missed the journey.
No.
You can't judge off of nothing.
Oh, she is absolutely gonna judge.
Oh wow. This is a firmness I have not become. Prime may be supposed to hydrate, but this cake is going to be not hydrated.
Let's go down the line, shall we? This is disgusting. Okay, so
I wouldn't feed this to a dog.
Ash, how about you? How was your prime cake experience?
So I like that it's an experience, right?
What a Gen Z thing to say.
And for me, honestly, similar to Ash, it's not a good cake. It's an interesting cake.
Oh, for sure.
I dig the ride.
Yeah.
Have we succeeded today in making a cake that is going to hydrate you after your day at the gym? Absolutely not. Have we succeeded in making a cake at all? Absolutely not. But you know what? We had fun making it. And I have a feeling this one is going to go down in food theory history with bread gloves. And I made cookies out of sawdust.
Let me close and end Santi's pain and suffering
Thank you.
by saying thank you all for joining us on this magical journey.
Does that seem fresh?
And remember, that's just a theory.
Oh
god. I wanted to give an extra special thanks to today's sponsor, Era. I'm not exaggerating when I say I went off camera right after the shoot and chugged my entire Era bottle to get the taste of that cake out of my mouth and desperately rehydrate.
Best episode they've ever done. That was
The last thing I
amazing.
needed was a sugary drink. So with Era, I was just able to pop on the wild berry pod to give me a hint of flavor with none of the drawbacks. So I was able to give my bones the water that they had definitely lost throughout this experience. And hey, if you decide to make this
Alright.
cake for your loved ones or your
That's
enemies
the
this
hair.
holiday
It's not
season, you can always
perfect,
take
but
the
I'll add
gift
some
shopping
lines.
by complimenting that cake with their own Era bottles. Trust me, they will be ecstatic to bust them open and start chugging away. And you'll come out winning by saving 30% on their holiday bundles. Create the demand of thirst on one side, then control the supply of sleek, customizable Era bottles on the other. We are all about optimization here at Theorist, folks. While the cake might not hydrate you for the holidays, Era definitely will. So make sure you click the link below and get your shopping out of the way early while the bundles last. Thanks again to Era for always being such an amazing sponsor here on the channel and for saving us from some horrible baking experiments this week. As always, my friends, I'll see you in the next episode. Hopefully it tastes a little bit better than this one.
You know poop is coming, but you know you have nothing to fear. Pampers Swaddlers with new blowout barrier helps prevent up to 100% of leaks, even blowouts. Don't fear blowouts with Pampers Swaddlers.
Little makes a big difference with Dr. Acker.
Everywhere you look online right now, we're seeing variations of the same video.
Ordering every single fast food burger.
Every single fast food burger. Every single burger. Every major fast food burger.
Everybody trying every burger from every restaurant. But seriously, who has time for all that? We here at Theorist are all about efficiency, a smarter approach to things. If I'm gonna be having myself a burger from every restaurant across America, then I'm gonna be doing it in one big bite. That's why today we've concocted a new, unholy creation that the internet has never seen before. A single burger formed from mixing together all the elements of all the most popular joints across America. A Frankenstein's monster of a creation. A Frankenburger, to use my friend Sophia Nygaard's terminology. It is the distillation of the perfectly average burger. But what's it gonna taste like? And what secrets will we learn along the way in creating this puppy? Hope you're hungry, friends, because we've got a beef with beef.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Food Theory, where today we're serving up a quarter pounder with knowledge. Save the cheese for another day. So, I don't know if you've noticed this recently across YouTube.com, but a lot of content today seems to be focused around this idea of going to every drive-thru ever. Well, my friends, Food Theory wanted to be a part of that trend, and then we thought, you know what? We don't got time for that. So instead, what if we did it the Food Theory way? What if we did it the smarter way? What if
We went to one of each of the major fast food drive-in restaurants across America and fused all of their burgers together into one average fast food burger. The ultimate burger.
The ultimate average fast food burger.
Right, like basically if you took like the high highs and the low lows and fused them together, who is your C average student?
I'm very excited for this.
As you should be. I am too.
There's a lot of excitement for me. I have not eaten today. And you know me, I get very cranky.
Oh, he is a hungry boy.
Oof.
He's got big muscles that need a lot of energy.
You can't see them in this jacket that I'm busting out of.
Yeah, don't flex too hard. I don't want to bust through that quality theory wear. New FNAF merchandise, which is available via the merch shelf down below.
Nice plug. Damn, that was smooth.
I have practice. So goal one here is to just get a general lay of the land and not just identify who's got the best fast food burger, because that's been done to death. Oh no, friends, in true food theory style, we are overthinking this to a critical level. Fast food.
Yeah, I should cut off the neck, but that's too late now.
Let me introduce you to the contenders for
I'm
today's episode.
overthinking it.
You can point
It'll
out
be
what
fine.
you haven't experienced before. So we've got yourself, your mainstream boys. You got your McDonald's, your Burger Kings, your Wendy's. We've got kind of your guys that really surged onto the scene over the last couple of years, which is Five Guys. You got that ultimate classic, Sonic, fastest thing alive. You've got Hardee's or Carl's Jr., depending on where in the country you are. You've got Culver's, which is another one of those boys that looks like it's kind of surging through the rankings. And lastly, we have our regional favorite, which is Cookout. If we were filming this over on the West Coast, this would have been In-N-Out.
Yeah.
But because we're filming this one in North Carolina, we thought Cookout was a good example.
There we go.
I'm a creature of habit. Yeah. So whenever I do have my cheat day that I have like fast food and I go all out, it's usually McDonald's. And I thought Sonic went bankrupt circa 2005. Wow. And so I'm really excited to try most of these.
All right.
All right, what do you think?
Ah,
fuck.
Three separate phases.
Sat
Phase
that
number
down.
one, what you've seen on YouTube 1,000 times before. We're gonna try all the different burgers.
The mane
give our
on there.
general
I'm gonna leave the
assessment
tail
of
off.
the
We'll
food
just say it's
package.
covered by the
Then for
cloak.
phase two,
we're gonna look under the hood.
Alright,
and
I
look at the
think that's it for me for tonight. I've got the two dinosaurs, and the horse head done. I will paint them tomorrow, and I will call it a night. Thank you for stopping by. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Yeah, maybe we'll do an audiobook.